It's 1959, and 9 seasoned hikers vanish into the icy heart of Russia's Ural Mountains, chasing adventure under a sky heavy with secrets. Weeks later, their bodies turn up in the snow, some with skulls shattered like glass, others missing tongues and eyes, and a faint hum of radiation clinging to their frozen clothes. What twisted force ripped them from their tent in the dead of night? Was it a merciless avalanche, a shadowy military experiment, or something so bizarre it defies explanation? Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the spine-chilling enigma of Dyatlov Pass, a mystery that's haunted investigators and thrill-seekers for decades. Our story kicks off in the bustling halls of the Ural Polytechnical Institute, where a tight-knit crew of 10 young adventurers hatched their plan. 8 men and 2 women, all in their early 20s, rallied under the leadership of Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old with a knack for survival and a hunger for glory. Their mission? A grueling 200-mile ski trek to snag the prestigious Grade 3 hiking certification, a badge of honor in Soviet Russia. Armed with cameras, diaries, and unshakable determination, they set out from Vishay village on January 27, 1959. But fate threw an early curveball. Yuri Yudin, battling joint pain, waved goodbye to his 9 companions on January 28, unknowingly dodging the nightmare ahead. Those who pressed on: Igor Dyatlov, Yuri Doroshenko, Yuri Krivonishenko, Zinaida Kolmogorova, Rustem Slobodin, Nikolai Thibault-Brignoles, Alexander Kolovatov, Lyudmila Dubinina, and Semyon Zolotaryov had no clue they were marching toward a frozen abyss. Their journey took them deep into the rugged Ural wilderness, where the wind howls like a living thing and the cold bites to the bone. By early February, they'd veered off course, battered by brutal weather, and found themselves on the slopes of Kolatsiakol, a place the local Mansi people ominously dubbed Dead Mountain. With night closing in, they pitched their tent on a seemingly safe incline, hunkering down against the elements. It was a decision that sealed their fate. Something unthinkable struck that night, forcing them to slash their way out of the tent and scatter into the sub-zero darkness, abandoning everything that kept them alive. Weeks passed, and when the group missed their check-in, Yuri Yudin sounded the alarm. A search party hit the mountain on February 20th, and what they found on February 26th still sends shivers down spines. The tent stood eerily intact, slashed from the inside, with clothes, shoes, and gear left behind like a snapshot of panic. Footprints trailed 1.5 kilometers downhill to a forest's edge. Calm, deliberate steps, not the chaos of a blind sprint, despite the minus 30 degrees Celsius cold. Then came the bodies. Imagine the rescuers' dread as they spotted Yuri Krivonishenko and Yuri Doroshenko stripped to their underwear, frozen stiff with orange-tinted skin and burns scarring their hands and feet. Nearby, broken branches suggested a desperate attempt at a fire, a flicker of hope snuffed out by the merciless night. The grim discoveries didn't stop there. Halfway back toward the tent, Igor Dyatlov, Zinaida Kolmogorova, and Rustem Slobodin lay scattered across the snow, clad in scraps of clothing, their bodies locked in poses of resistance. Dyatlov gripped a branch like a lifeline. Kolmogorova's hands bore bruises from a fight she couldn't win, and Slobodin's skull carried a subtle fracture, a hint of the violence that night unleashed. Months later, on May 4th, the final 4 emerged from a ravine, entombed under 4 meters of snow. Nikolai Thibault-Brignoles' head was crushed. Lyudmila Dubinina's chest caved in with her tongue and eyes gone. Perhaps scavengers, perhaps the icy stream nearby. Semyon Zolotaryov's ribs snapped like twigs, his eyes missing too, while Alexander Kolovatov's neck twisted unnaturally, burns marking his skin. And then there was the radiation, faint but undeniable on their clothes, paired with reports of strange orange lights piercing the sky that night. What kind of horror could weave this tapestry of death? For decades, experts have wrestled with that question, piecing together theories from the jagged clues left behind. One idea gaining traction points to a sneaky avalanche. Picture this. The hikers carve into the slope to pitch their tent, unknowingly destabilizing a slab of snow. Hours later, winds howling at 25 miles per hour nudge it loose, a 16-foot wall of white crashing down. In 2021, scientists Alexander Puzrin and Johann Gaume ran simulations showing how such a hit could break bones and spark panic. Fleeing downhill, the hikers succumbed to the cold, their fates sealed by nature's fury. Expeditions in 2021 and 2022 caught fresh avalanches on camera, and 1959 weather logs back it up. But here's the catch: no avalanche debris was found in '59, and those burns and radiation? They linger like ghosts, defying the math. Or maybe the mountain itself turned traitor with katabatic winds, icy gusts roaring down like a freight train. In 2019, researchers clocked winds on Kholat Syakhl strong enough to shred a tent, plunging the temperature to minus 52 degrees Fahrenheit. The hikers' diaries from January 31st noted rising gales, and photos captured snow sculpted by relentless blasts. A chilling parallel from 1978 in Sweden saw 9 skiers caught in similar winds, with one survivor recalling the terror. Could this explain the slashed tent and their barefoot flight? Perhaps a collapsed snow den crushed the rest later. Yet the radiation and burns still dangle out of reach, taunting us with their silence. Wilder theories swirl too, each tugging at the mystery's edges. Did a secret Soviet weapons test scatter radiation and light up the sky, forcing the hikers to run? No records say yes, but the hints tease us: UFOs or a Yeti. Blurry photos from Zolotaryov's camera fuel the speculation, though no tracks or hard proof emerge. The Munsi tribe faced early suspicion, but their peacefulness and the lack of a struggle clear their name. Hypothermia might have tricked some into shedding clothes, feeling hot as they froze, but it doesn't explain the exodus or the carnage. The case cracked open again in 2019, with Russia eyeing natural causes. By 2020, they pinned it on an avalanche, praising the hikers' grit against impossible odds. That 2021 study leaned in, borrowing snow physics from Disney's Frozen and car crash data to mimic the injuries. DNA tests on Zolotaryov in 2018 stirred whispers of a hidden identity, but the trail went cold. Each step forward tightens the net, yet the full picture slips through our fingers. So here we stand, on the icy edge of Dead Mountain, with an avalanche theory that holds the most weight, tying the slashed tent, the escape, and some injuries into a tidy knot. Katabatic winds offer a fierce alternative, explaining the sudden flight and frozen ends. Infrasound adds a creepy twist to their calm retreat. Still, those burns, the radiation, the missing eyes and tongues, some chalked up to nature, others not, keep the fire of doubt burning. The 1959 Soviet report called it a natural force and shut the book, but modern science peels it back, inch by inch, without ever landing the final blow. What do you think tore through that night in 1959? Was it nature's wrath or something darker? Drop your wildest guesses in the comments. I'm dying to hear them. Smash that like button if this tale gripped you, and subscribe for more mysteries that'll keep you up at night. Thanks for joining me on this icy ride. Until next time, stay curious.